story of Buddha from prince to enlightened master than 2,500 years ago. In the foothills of the Himalayas, a child was born who would change the spiritual history of the world. His name was Siddhartha Gautama, and he would later become known as the Buddha, meaning the awakened one, according to tradition. Siddhartha was born around the 6th century BCE in Lumbini, a place that is now part of modern-day Nepal. He was born into a royal family. His father, King Suddhodana, ruled the Shakya clan, and his mother was Queen Maya. Legend says that before Siddhartha's birth, Queen Maya had a remarkable dream. She dreamed of a white elephant entering her side, which wise men interpreted as a sign that her child would become either a great king or a great spiritual leader. Soon after Siddhartha was born, a holy sage named Asita visited the palace. Looking at the infant prince, the sage predicted that the child would one day become a Buddha, a fully enlightened being. While the prophecy filled the kingdom with wonder, it worried Siddhartha's father. The king wanted his son to become a powerful ruler, not a wandering spiritual teacher. To ensure this, King Suddhodana shielded Siddhartha from all suffering. The prince grew up in luxury, surrounded by beautiful gardens, fine clothing, music, and comfort. He was given everything he could desire. The king believed that if Siddhartha never saw pain or hardship, he would never seek a spiritual path. As Siddhartha grew older, he became intelligent, compassionate, and thoughtful. He married a princess named Yasodhara, and together they had a son named Rahula. Outwardly, his life seemed perfect. Yet deep inside, Siddhartha felt that something was missing. One day, curious about the world beyond the palace walls, Siddhartha ventured outside. During these journeys, he witnessed what Buddhist tradition calls the four sights. The first sight was an old man. Siddhartha had never seen old age before. He was shocked to learn that all people eventually grow old. The second sight was a sick man suffering from disease. Siddhartha realized that illness could strike anyone. The third sight was a corpse being carried to a funeral. For the first time, he understood the reality of death. The fourth sight was a wandering monk. Unlike the others, this man appeared calm and peaceful, despite living a simple life. Siddhartha wondered if there was a way to overcome suffering and find true peace. These experiences transformed him. He realized that wealth and power could not protect people from aging, sickness, and death. Determined to find answers, Siddhartha made a life-changing decision. At the age of 29, he left his palace, his wealth, and even his family. This event is known as the Great Renunciation. In the middle of the night, he rode away from the palace and began a journey in search of truth. For years, Siddhartha studied with famous teachers and practiced extreme forms of asceticism. He fasted for long periods and subjected himself to severe hardships. Some stories say he became so thin that his ribs were visible through his skin. Yet despite all these efforts, he did not find enlightenment. Eventually, Siddhartha realized that neither luxury nor extreme self-denial led to wisdom. He discovered what would later become known as the middle way, a balanced path between the two extremes. One day, accepting a meal from a village woman named Sujata, Siddhartha regained his strength. He then sat beneath a large fig tree in Bodh Gaya, India. He made a vow that he would not rise until he had found the truth. As night fell, Siddhartha entered deep meditation. According to Buddhist tradition, he was challenged by Mara, a powerful force representing temptation, fear, and illusion. Mara tried to distract him with frightening visions and desires, but Siddhartha remained calm and unwavering. Finally, as the morning star appeared in the sky, Siddhartha attained enlightenment. He gained profound insight into the nature of existence, suffering, and the path to liberation. At that moment, he became the Buddha, the awakened one. After attaining enlightenment, the Buddha spent several weeks contemplating his realization. At first, he wondered whether people would be able to understand such deep truths. Eventually, moved by compassion, he decided to teach others. His first sermon took place at Deer Park in Sarnath. There he taught the Four Noble Truths. The first truth is that suffering exists in life. The second truth is that suffering arises from attachment and craving. The third truth is that suffering can end. The fourth truth is that there is a path leading to the end of suffering. This path became known as the Noble Eightfold Path, a guide to ethical living, mental discipline, and wisdom. Over the next 45 years, the Buddha traveled across northern India, teaching people from all walks of life. Kings, merchants, farmers, and ordinary villagers came to hear his message. He established a community of monks and nuns, known as the Sangha, which helped spread his teachings far and wide. The Buddha emphasized compassion, mindfulness, nonviolence, and self-understanding. Rather than asking people to blindly accept his teachings, he encouraged them to investigate and experience the truth for themselves. As he grew older, the Buddha continued teaching tirelessly. Eventually, at around 80 years of age, he fell ill while traveling, knowing that his life was coming to an end. He gave his final teachings to his followers. He reminded them to rely on their own efforts and practice the path diligently. The Buddha then entered a state known as parinirvana, the final passing away of an enlightened being, free from the cycle of rebirth. Although his physical life ended, his teachings continued to spread throughout Asia and eventually across the world. Today, millions of people follow the path he taught, seeking wisdom, compassion, and inner peace. The story of Gautama Buddha is not merely the story of a prince who became a spiritual teacher. It is the story of a human being who sought answers to life's deepest questions and rededicated his life to helping others overcome suffering and discover lasting peace.